Hello, grade 8 students. Welcome to DepEd's TV Learning episode. I am teacher Frederick Crusit, and I will be with you for this episode. Our subject for today is TLA 8, particularly Module 10, Lesson 4. Today, we will be learning very important topics on performing first aid treatment on poisoning, bites and stings. Please get your module, notebook, and ball pen for note-taking, or prepare your cell phones for screen grabbing or screen shooting. And if you are ready enough, let's proceed. To familiarize ourselves with some necessary words we will encounter on the module, let's start with some refresher activities. Here we go! And let's make friends with the following words. First, bite is to seize, especially with teeth or jaws, so as to enter, grip, or wound. Second, bleeding is a loss of blood. Next, first aid, it is the first step in any emergency response of the problem and providing help. Another word is poison. It is a substance that causes death, injury, or harm to organs, usually by chemical reactions. Lastly, stings is a small, sharp, pointed organ at the end of the abdomen of bees, wasps, ants, and scorpions capable of inflicting a painful or dangerous wound by injecting poison. That's it. To be more familiar with those words, some pictures will be flashed on your screen. And I want you to match the picture in column A with the situation or idea on column B. Write the letter only on your answer sheet. There are 5 pictures and 6 choices. The choices are A. Bite, B. Bleeding, C. First aid, D. Poison, E. Stings, F. Burns. This activity is to be answered for 1 minute only. Time starts now.
The game begins in 3, 2, 1.
Time is up. Let us see how well do you know these pictures. The answer on the first picture is letter B, bleeding. The answer on second picture is letter E, stings. The answer on the third picture is letter A, bite. The fourth picture is letter C, first aid. The fifth picture is letter D, poison. So how is your score? Well, congratulations to those who got perfect scores and to everyone as well. I know you all have done your best. Now let us proceed with the next part of our lesson, which is recognizing the symptoms of acute illness or injury and the necessary actions for such injuries. Because of this, I would like to ask you if you know the emergency hotline numbers of our place. Yes, very good. For police hotline, we have 117 or 911. This is a very important hotline since all agencies are coordinated to these numbers too. And in addition, let us also know the hotline for Fire and Risk Reduction Management Office of our locality. These numbers will save your life, and we can never know when emergency will arise. Usually, when you are in an emergency, your confidence in dealing with both major and minor injuries will be reassuring to an injured person. Never panic, since professional help will still come a long way and may take time before it will arrive. It is a must that you know first aid. Here are some examples of injuries, especially in a classroom, and its procedures we need to apply as first aid. Now, let's talk about the actions to be taken when having the sign of poisoning, bites, or stings. Number 1. Poisoning. First, swallowed poison. Remove anything remaining in the person's mouth. Read the container's label and follow instructions for accidental poisoning. Second, poison on the skin. Remove any contaminated clothing using gloves. Rinse the skin for 15 to 20 minutes in a shower or with a hose. Third, poison in the eye. Gently flush the eye with cool or lukewarm water for 20 minutes or until help arrives. Lastly, inhaled poison. Get the person into fresh air as soon as possible. If the person vomits, turn his or her head to the side to prevent choking. Begin CPR if the person shows no signs of life, such as moving, breathing, or coughing. That's for poisoning. Number 2, bites. Spider bites. How can you help? Apply cold treatment. Wash the bitten area well to remove any remaining venom from the skin. Keep the patient still to reduce the toxic effects of the venom. Apply a wrapped ice pack for up to 10 minutes at a time. An ice pack should be wrapped in a damp cloth to get the best effect from the ice and to avoid burning the skin. Raise a bitten limb. If the bite is on a limb, raise it to limit swelling. If an arm or hand is involved, apply an elevation sling to provide comfort and support. Then seek prompt medical advice if the patient is a baby or young child. If the pain becomes severe or the patient becomes ill with a fever, headache, nausea, or vomiting, call the emergency hotline number. Number 3. Bee or wasp stings. Bees have only one stinging barb that is left in the skin following the incident. The venom sac is attached to the barb and continues to inject venom until it is empty. For this reason, the barb should be removed as soon as possible. Wasps do not leave a detached barb in the skin but inflict multiple stings, thus increasing the amount of venom injected. How can you help? One way is to remove the barb by immediately brushing, plucking, or scraping the barb off the skin to stop the venom being injected. How the barb is removed is less important than removing the barb quickly. Next is to apply cold treatment by immediately applying a wrapped ice pack and leave it in place for up to 10 minutes. Reapply the ice pack at frequent intervals or whenever pain relief is needed. Finally, raise the bitten area. Raise the bitten area as high as possible to limit the swelling that will occur. If an arm or hand has been stung, apply an elevation sling to provide comfort and support. If the patient is known to be allergic to the venom, call the emergency hotline number. and assist the patient with any prescribed treatment. Number 4. Cat or dog bites. Domestic animal bites usually cause an infected wound. Although the wound may be small, medical advice is recommended, and antibiotics are often prescribed, and a protective tetanus injection given. How can you help? First, you can control bleeding. If the wound is bleeding, apply a firm pad. Next, clean a minor wound thoroughly by using warm soapy water or a saline solution to clean the wound. Then, apply a protective dressing and seek medical advice. Finally, seek urgent medical advice and treatment. Number 5. Marine bites and stings. How can you help? First, stop the patient from rubbing the sting area. Then, flush the area with water and gently remove any tentacles. If hot water is available, pour hot water over the area or put the stung area in hot water for 20 minutes. The water should be as hot as the person can stand it, without burning. If hot water is not available and there is significant pain, apply ice. If the reaction is severe, such as difficulty in breathing, fainting, or severe swelling, call the emergency hotline number. Class, that's all for poisoning, bites, or sting first aid. Now, to determine whether we have learned something, let us recall the symptoms or signs of poisoning, bites, and stings. Can you enumerate the symptoms and signs of poisoning, bites, or sting? Very good! The symptoms and signs of poisoning, bites, or sting are the following: pain, swelling of the bite or sting area, discoloration of the affected area, altered sensation, nausea or vomiting, headache, blurred or double vision, muscle weakness or paralysis, breathing difficulty, a fine rash over the trunk, wheezing or coughing, and swelling around the face, eyes, and neck. All right, class, it's time to check on what you have learned from our lesson today. Are you ready with your notebook and pen? Okay. Listen carefully as I read each item, then select the best answer and write the letter of your choice in your notebook. Let's begin. Number 1. An action made by an animal jaw or mouth parts that can harm a person. Letter A, bite. Letter B, scratch. Letter C, smile. Letter D, tap. Number 2. Below are the symptoms and signs of poisoning, bites, or sting, except letter A, pain. Letter B, swelling of the bite or sting area. Letter C, discoloration of the affected area. Letter D, laughing. Number 3. Cat or dog bite first aid includes blank. Letter A, control any bleeding. Letter B, use warm soapy water or a saline solution to clean the wound. Letter C, apply a protective dressing and seek medical advice. Letter D, all of the above. Number 4. What will you do if you can see a child bitten by a bee? Letter A. Raise the bitten area. Remove the barb. Apply cold treatment. Letter B. Remove the barb. Apply cold treatment. Raise the bitten area. Letter C. Apply cold treatment. Raise the bitten area. Remove the barb. Letter D. None of the above. Number 5. How can you help a person who swallowed poison? Letter A. Remove anything remaining in the person's mouth. Letter B. Read the container's label and follow instructions for accidental poisoning. Letter C. Remove any contaminated clothing using gloves. Letter D, A, and B. Now, it's time to check your answers. Ready? Number 1. Letter A, bite. Number 2. Letter D, laughing. Number 3. Letter D, all of the above. Number 4. Letter B, remove the barb. Apply cold treatment. Raise the bitten area. Number 5. Letter D, A, and B. Class, did you get the 5 correct answers? If you did, great job! But don't worry. If you get 4 and below, you just go back to your module and read. Well, that ends our lesson for today. Please do an advanced reading for the next topic and be sure to follow the next video lesson. This is Teacher Frederick Makiling Crusit saying good day and God bless.